Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back in once again. It's time for another mystery unboxing. This time, it's even a mystery to me. I have not seen this knife in person. I don't know everything about it as of the time of me unboxing this and doing this intro, but I will have some more info by the time I get down to the tabletop portion of this. Got a message from Brian Winters a couple days ago, and he says, you know what? He goes, I got something cool I'd like to send over to you. You want to check it out? I'm like, well, yeah, duh. I'm like, the #1 Winterblade Factor fan. So why the hell not? So use a factor to open a factor. All right, let's see. Oh. Okay. Boy, he spared no expense on the tape on this one. Okay, so we have the case. We have stickers and the COA card, which lists this as prototype number 3. And all of the information that you're going to be needing that I will put in the video as well, so that you can get your order in for one as well. That can go over there, that can go over there. And let's see. Oh, that feels really, really good out of the box. How does it compare to mine? You know, just when you think something is completely perfect and you can't make it better, something like this comes along. So what you've got here for the first time ever is a full titanium version of the Winterblade Factor. Now, this particular one is all purple anodized, and I've got the Damascus clip on there, which matches my other one. This was the second Factor that I got. And this is kind of my little twinsy model with Brian. He and I are the only ones that have the Damascus clips. But it looks like that's actually going to be an option for the B3. Oh, I like that a lot. So you've got all this really great milling on the frame. It's not as flat as it was in the 2 previous versions. As a matter of fact, you've got a little bit of contouring here that's going to make this even more comfortable in the hand. Because there's a lot of feedback from a lot of owners on the Factor. Basically, we all believe that it's pretty much the perfect knife. But if anybody had anything to point out as an area of opportunity, a lot of people pointed out, okay, the ergonomics really aren't that great for a knife that you really want to work with a lot. So he obviously addressed that and slightly contoured both the front side and the back side of the frame. And then you've got this really nice micro milling in here, which is going to give you a little bit of additional traction. Boy, that is kind of grippy. It's almost like having jimping all through the entire frame. This is really, really nicely done. Another thing is you've got a different blade finish now that you've got the stone wash blade. And what other changes? He did tell me that once again he will be offering the option of the flipper bar, or you can get that carbon fiber backspacer that blocks the whole thing off and gives you a smooth transition from one part of the frame to the other. And that the detent feel of this is going to be stronger because the magnets that are being used in here that are actually acting as the detent and keeping the blade closed, those magnets are going to be a little bit stronger out of the box so that you don't have to switch out the magnets yourself to get the stronger detent. So let's hop down to the tabletop portion and get a nice close look at this and see what we all think of it. All right, let's get down to it. My apologies for cutting the intro short like I did. I've been having some pretty big issues with my with the nerves in my cervical spine, and a lot of times I'll get thrown into a vertigo attack without any warning whatsoever. And I felt one just coming on, so I just kind of had to cut things off and give myself a little bit of time here to, for the world to stop spinning at 1,000 miles an hour so I could come back and do this portion of the video. So my apologies if that was not as seamless of a transition as it should have been, but I digress. The Winterblade Factor B3. Here it is, up close and personal. That is a sharp-ass looking knife, I gotta tell you right now. Now, for anybody that's followed my channel, at least for the past year, since the first Factor came out, you know that this is one of my hands-down favorite knives that I have ever owned at any price range in my entire life. Now, I still love the action on the original the best. My second one here is nearly as perfect. They're just tuned so damn well. And I've gotten a lot of messages since I did the video on this one because I have the Damascus clip. As of right now, the only other person that has a Damascus clip is Brian himself. And he was kind enough. When I bought this from Beard of Doom, we actually did a trade because I really wanted to get my hands on this, and it didn't quite work well for him, for his size hands and everything, and he wasn't crazy about the strength of the magnets that were in there, or there was something else. Anyway, he had sent it. He said, I'm going to send it back to Brian, have him work on it, and if I really, really love it, I'll keep it. If not, I'll be happy to do the trade with you. So we did the trade, and I asked Brian, I said, hey, do me a favor, snazz it up a little bit, do whatever you want to do. I figured maybe he would do some milling or some crazy shit in there. And instead, I get it back, and this is on it. I'm like, oh my God, dude, that is incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, yep. He goes, there's only 2 Damascus clips that exist, one on my personal knife, and now one on yours. So this one has a special place in my heart, just for that reason. I do prefer the color combination of my original with the natural gray titanium against the toxic green G10. I'll definitely like that more than the black, but man, that clip really, really makes it. And with so many people asking me about it, how can I get the Damascus clip? I'm really glad to see that he's offering that now as an option on the new B3. So let's talk very quickly about some of these differences between the B3 and the B1, the B2. Again, I'm not going into full detail on everything, only because this is not the review. This is just the unboxing. And by the way, this is the Mirage. This is the world's first magnetic equipped assisted opener. All right. If you don't have your order in for the Mirage already, you're kind of SOL. But when that shipment does arrive, I'm sure he'll have extras that he can sell. Okay, anyway. So when you look at the standard Factors, the front sides are always titanium, and the back sides are always carbon fiber. Not so the case with the B3. This one is titanium on both sides, and I absolutely love the purple. I am so happy to have the purple. It looks so damn cool. All right, and now there's also these milled lines. Let me see if I can get a nice close-up here. There we go. Look at that. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this does give quite a bit of traction, almost as if you had jimping going up and down the entire frame on both sides, which is very, very cool. Now, another big difference is going to be in the shape of those scales. Let me move this over just a little bit so that I can sneak this one in. And you can see the original Factors are completely flat. It's more of a triplane design, so you have that beveled angle there off of that flat, then another beveled angle here. Now you're still going to get beveled angles off of the sides, so that's the same. This notch right here is new. So for anybody that wants to open this with their thumb, I don't know why they would, but if they wanted to, you've got more access down there to it. And you still got the same bevel coming off on the top side, but now you have a slightly contoured frame, and that is happening on both sides. So while this has a little bit more weight to it than the original versions that had carbon fiber on the back, I think a lot of people are really going to like that because now the knife feels a bit more substantial. I've never had a complaint about how lightweight the originals are. However, I think between the added little bit of weight as well as the contouring and the milling on the frame, I think ergonomically, this is a big, big, big leap ahead. Now, another difference from mine, both of mine, oh, no, I forgot that does have the milled pivot. I was thinking it only had the big slot. So here's a standard slot pivot. Here is the very slotty pivot, and you're going to get another slotty pivot here on the new version as well. The other difference is if you go back to any of these, let me grab this one. This had the somewhat burnished satin finish, and you see I do use my factors a lot. They have definitely gotten a lot of pocket time and a lot of cutting time. So you've got this highly reflective. It began life as you could tell as a belt satin, a machine satin, and then it looks like they probably hit it with a Scotch-Brite belt. Now the new ones are going to be stone-washed. Now you got a choice of either the stone-washed finish or a Damasteel blade. And yeah, man, Damasteel, super awesome. Super, super awesome. And while normally I would say, man, I wish I would have gotten a Damasteel blade, especially against purple. Here's the thing. As much as I use my factors for everyday cutting shit, I would always want to be keeping that very beautiful, polished Damasteel clean. I'd spend half my time carrying the damn knife. I'd spend cleaning it. Whereas on a stonewash blade, I don't care if it gets a little bit gummed up with tape gunk and stuff like that. It won't really bother me at all because it's going to feel like a little bit more of a utility knife. And for those of you that are going for the Damasteel blade, yeah, you're definitely going to pay a considerable amount more because of getting the Damasteel. However, it's definitely going to be worth it. So that's my Winterblade collection thus far, only a year in or so. And I am so beyond in love with this collection. I could very nearly sell almost every other knife I've got and not feel a real gap in my collection unless I wanted to carry something that was significantly larger for some reason. But still top of the heap for me, guys. For an EDC, they're lightweight. They're so easy to carry. The actions are completely addictive. If you have not gotten any of the Winterblade factors, you absolutely need to. Now, the pre-order on the B3 is going to go live on May 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Now, while this is a prototype, the only difference between this one and what you're going to be getting when you purchase one is the fact that this still has the T6 screws that the original had. And Brian made the upgrade into T8 hardware. So when you order yours will get T8 hardware. And you know what it looks like? It looks like the clip is reversible for the first time. Well, maybe not the first time. No, I'm not a lefty, so I never really paid attention. But yeah, these are reversible as well. But he's got like this little island here that you'd be setting the clip up on. Huh. That's pretty cool too. Look at that rich purple anodizing. Look how sexy that looks. Oh, yeah. Oh, it looks like they're only using one. Well, there's only one in there too. Was only the original equipped with two of the Delrin blade aligners? And that's basically what keeps the blade centered, since you have magnets pushing and pulling against the blade to create that detent. He used to have two in there. Now apparently there's only one. Very, very interesting. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I see there's a carbon fiber liner? What? All right, so he must be using the carbon fiber to hold the magnet and the blade centerer, I guess I'll call it. So there must be a pocket milled into the backside of the titanium, and sandwiched between the titanium and carbon fiber is going to be how he's holding things in place. I was unaware of that completely. I just happened to notice it as I moved it, and I still had the camera zoomed in. Would you look at that? Very slick. Didn't know that. Would have never guessed it. Now, for those that don't like to use the flipper bar, you can get you can order yours, and it will come equipped with that full carbon fiber backspacer. This is a G10 flipper bar. You'll get a full carbon fiber space filler, basically, which will leave this completely uninterrupted. It'll be completely straight across and bridge that gap. Anyway, that's what she looks like. That's how she functions. And those are the differences between the B3, the B2, and the very first Factors. My goodness. Very slick. And there you have them all three together. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I will be back very shortly with a full review on the B3. And we'll go through the whole pros and cons on the TLDW. I'll give you my personal thoughts further expanded beyond what I did here. I'm excited to bring it out to you. I'm excited to sit down and start taking pictures of this bad boy, because that purple, that's going to be a son of a gun to photograph and to get the actual tone correct, because the white balance on my camera is going to want to alter it where it's either pink or it's blue. So I'll be fighting that for a while and cursing and screaming and throwing shit, I'm sure. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on that video.